Welcome to everyone. Today we are going to start the new topic, that is stomata. We all must have been wondering that how do plants do respiration or exchange of gas, or we can say a mode of excretion in them. Stomata. Stomata is a temporary opening in the plants. These stomatas are found on the upper and lower surface of the leaf. The number of stomata on the upper surface of the leaf is less in comparison to the number of stomata in the lower surfaces of the leaf. There are some permanent openings are also present in the plant. They are known as lenticels. Lenticels are present on the old stem or trunk of the tree or the plants. I'm again repeating that lenticels, see the spelling lenticels. Okay, I'm here only showing the spelling. Lenticel is not shown here in diagram. I'm showing only the spellings. Lenticels are the permanent opening found on the old stems of the plant and old trunk of the tree. The permanent opening, while the stomata, whose figure you are seeing here, the stomata are the temporary openings found on the leaves of the plant or the tree. Fine. Now, these stomatas are the pores or the holes. Okay, whatever you are seeing here, it is the whole set which makes a stomata. Okay, actually you are seeing here, these are the subsidiary cells. These are subsidiary cells or side cells. Okay, these two are guard cells. These two are guard cells, and this pore or hole is known as stomata. Fine. This is a diagram of open stomata and this is a diagram of closed stomata. So always remember the thing, this is open stomata diagram, this is a closed stomata diagram. These all are subsidiary or side cells. These two are guard cells, and this is a pore. Here you are able to see stomata, while as the guard cells are closed, so here you are not able to see the stomata. So here the stomata is visible, here the stomata is not visible because it is being closed by guard cells. Fine. Now, why is it so that the number of stomata is higher on the lower side of the leaf while it is least on the upper side of the leaf? It is so because whenever the stomata on the upper surface of the leaf gets open, okay, whenever it gets open, what happens that it gives out carbon dioxide, it gives out oxygen, it receives carbon dioxide, and it also gives extra water if the plant is having. But side by side, the stomata which are on the upper surface of the leaf receives the direct sunlight from the sun, and these sunlight, what they do, they escape out extra water from the plant. So this is a loss for the plant. So as to reduce the loss, the stomata are present on the lower side of the leaf. Maximum stomata are present on the lower side of the leaf, not on the upper side of the leaf. Fine. So that's why nature has made the stomata maximum on the lower side and not on the upper side. Now boys, we will go with how does the stomata gets open, or we can say how does this guard cells, this guard cells bends. You are seeing here that there's a bending movement or a concave type of figure which are taken by the guard cells. Usually the simple guard cells are like this, but when the stomata has to be open, it has to bend. Okay, so how does it bend? Come to this closed stomata diagram. You are able to see that there are some cells are surrounding the guard cells. So what happens that whenever the the starch which is in the guard cells, the starch which is in the guard cell changes itself into sugar. Okay, when this guard cells starch, the reserve food, that the starch is the reserve food, with the starch which were present in the guard cells changes itself to sugar, what happens that osmotic pressure increases inside the guard cells. So the water comes from the surrounding cells to inside the guard cells, and this entering water bends the inner wall of the stomata like this. Okay, that means entry of water due to changing of starch into sugar makes the guard cell bend and stomata pore to be opened. Now when the work of exchange has been done, at that time what happened that the starch present in the surrounding cells they change into sugar, and the sugar which were present in the guard cell they change into starch. Then what happened, the water goes out of the guard cell, and again the guard cells shrink and close the stomatal pore. By this, opening and closing of stomata is done by coming and going of water due to starch and sugar hypothesis. There are several other theories also which you will study in higher classes, but there is no any definite theory. There are several theories which will say that why this stomatal pore is opened by guard cells, why the reasons of movement of guard cell are various. Now here we have seen. Now we will go with the functions of guard cells, sorry, the functions of stomata. The first function of stomata is to exchange of gases O2 CO2. Fine. The second function of stomata is loss of excess water in the plant body. Okay, so there are two main functions of the stomata. Now boys, we have seen this stomata. Now we will go with the heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, actually the type of food which the organism eats depends upon the niche or habitat where they live. Obviously, if the organism like polar bear, they live uh, they live in a ice and sea type of habitat. There is a sea changes itself into ice floor. So what the polar bear will eat, it will eat some marine animals. And the Himalayan bear, what they will eat, they will eat mountain animals. They are omnivorous also, so they will eat mountain fruits and vegetables. So like this we can say that the type of food with the which the organism eats depends upon the niche or the habitat they live. In addition to that, as our body is made up of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and various other atoms, and side by side catabolism is going inside our body, that means the various types of components are being destroyed also. So from where they are again replenished, so they are replenished from the food only. So always think and mark which I'm just going to say, that as our body is made up of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon and various other types of atoms, so our food is also like that, which will replenish the loss of these all atoms. Our food also consists of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and these types of atoms only. So always remember that whatever we loss during catabolism, we again replenish them with the type of food which resembles the same atoms. Okay, that's why our main food is glucose, which is made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, because we lose them. So to replenish them, we eat glucose type of food, carbohydrate type of food, fatty type of food, okay, protein type of food, because we lose nitrogen also. So here you are able to see amoeba. Amoeba, as you know, makes pseudopodia, that means false feet. In this diagram, the first diagram, you can able to see that the amoeba was going to somewhere and it found a particle of food in its path. Now in the second diagram, you are able to see that it produces a pseudopodia and it captures the food in the pseudopodia. In the third diagram, you are able to see that it engulfs the food inside it, but it surrounds the food with the food vacuole, है ना? And in this food vacuole there is food particle. But one thing you should also mark, that in the food vacuole with the food particle there are digestive juices also. So in the fourth diagram you are not able to see the food vacuole because food particle has been digested. with the digestive juice which were present inside the food vacuole, and now the energy has been distributed in the cytoplasm. So now your